It's 2 hours long. I've seen almost all of it at this point, but it's crazy. 9 million views. And
dude, the last time the Dow Jones Industrial Average made a new all-time high was on my father's birthday. December the 4th. And that's also Jay-Z's birthday. Also, my father is very proud that he shares a birthday with Jay-Z.
We're not at new all-time highs in the Dow
I understand.
Jones. Okay. I just
hence the last time the Dow Jones Industrial Average.
Okay, I thought you were saying like it's happening. It's happening now, and the last time it happened was.
Is Strazza not starting to dress more and more like a rich European guy? Like you would fit right in, Monaco.
Ferrari.
You're
not douchey enough though. Strazza's too much of a nice guy.
You have to go work in private equity, Steve. That's what.
No, I don't.
Dude, you would right now. You and Monaco walking towards your boat, drinking a little coffee with your pinky up. Forgot about it.
I could see it. Yeah.
I don't hate it. I'm not gonna lie.
Not at all. Yeah, right.
Dude, Monaco is sick.
All right, let's start the show.
Good sushi there.
Enough of this.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah.
What is up, everybody? Good morning. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the morning show. This is Stock Market TV. I'm Spencer. Those guys are Steve and JC. We have Alfonso on the P's and Q's backstage, work on the charts for us. We appreciate that. On today's show, Jason Krutzky will stop by from Spot Trading. We'll be talking to Memecoins. That's going to be fun. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty of the meme coin market. Beyond Fartcoin. Fartcoin is like the blue chip. We're going to go way deeper down the rabbit hole than Fartcoin and all that stuff. It's going to be fun. Well, Sean on the show, Options Sean at 9:15, and Kenny Glick will stop by, and that's it. Happy 13F Day to all those. I know Steve and JC don't celebrate. I do sometimes. But we'll get a spate of those filings after the bell today. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. If you missed it yesterday, I'm going to drop the link in the chat to the live event that Strazza and I did at 2 o'clock Eastern time, where Steve kind of ripped through a few of the recent big trades he's had and how he found them. So I will drop that link in the chat right now. Speaking of chat, how are we doing in there? We're all good? Yes? Looks like everyone's in a good mood. I'm in a good mood. Let's go. It's Thursday. We're in a good mood. Let's start the show.
You know how I know it's the top? You know how I know? Why? Spencer Israel talking about how Fartcoin is a blue chip. That's got to be the top.
Speaking of Spencer Israel talking, what you don't so you just don't like Taylor Swift? Why are you spreading rumors about her?
Oh no, I was saying that I've watched most of the video.
Dude, Spencer's a Swiftie.
No, I'm not a Swiftie. I went through a phase.
You watched most of what?
I love how you just said, I'm not a Swiftie. I just went through a phase.
I did go through a phase. It was when I was in college, so it was a long time ago. No, she was on the Kelsey podcast last night, and it was like a combination of, it was like worlds colliding. So this podcast dropped.
Boyfriend's podcast,
right? This podcast dropped last night. It's got 9 million views in 12 hours.
Why? What are they talking about?
She announced a new album. That was the main crux of it.
Is it worth listening to, or should I just have AI?
Honestly, it's 2 hours long, man. I don't know.
I'm shocked to hear this from both of you guys. Like, the world is not over this thing. Why would you watch it? What is there?
I was curious. It was like I said, it's worlds colliding. I don't really watch that show or listen to that podcast at all, but I was curious, so I checked it out.
I've been reading Chaos Monkeys. Have you guys read that one?
I've heard of it.
That guy went to my high school. He's like, I don't know, 7 years older than me, and it's really good, like really good. He's such a great writer.
Who is he?
He's just like a VC guy. He worked like at Facebook, Goldman, one of these quantitative scientist research types, startup, Silicon Valley, Cuban, Miami. The Cuban Miami part is the one kind of like, what?
Yeah.
But he just some guy. I mean, I guess, I must have gone to school with him for like a year or something like that. I didn't know him. I was just a fan of his, and then I realized I went to the same high school. And then so I just wanted to read the book just because I feel like obligated to. It's really good. I mean, it's a New York Times bestseller. So clearly I'm not like, I'm late to the party. This book was written almost a decade ago.
What's it about?
It's called Chaos Monkeys. It's just stories about Silicon Valley, kind of more of like memoirs of just his stories. And he's just a good storyteller. It's just like an inside look as to like, interviews at Y Combinator and like going through that process. And then like what it's like working at Facebook and like, Zuck's office, just like stuff that like I would have no idea about, like douchey, Wall Street, Goldman Sachs traders doing push-up competitions and how many cheeseburgers can the interns eat at lunch, like all that stuff I know, like been there, done those things, participated in some of those events myself. ID bingo, like all that stuff. That's classic, but the Silicon Valley stuff is more new to me.
You're on a big book thing lately?
I mean, the smartest people I know read a lot. The least successful people I know don't read ever. So, and so I try to read, things that I enjoy. Like it's not all technical analysis books. I read a lot of like behavioral economics and like stuff like this, stuff that like helps me with what I'm doing. Cause this is really helpful. This gives me good color and perspective in a world that I'm not that familiar with. I've never worked in Silicon Valley and San Francisco or any of that stuff,
JC, there's a Twitter account that you'll love. That
also, he's a huge foodie, so that's cool.
There's a Twitter account you'll love. I followed it for years. The handle's @techemails. All it is internal. It's screenshots of internal emails from like Facebook and Apple and Microsoft from like decades ago, and they're all from lawsuits. That's why these are public.
Oh, wow.
So it's just screenshots of like Steve Jobs emailing Bill Gates, you know what I mean, and the other way around.
Right.
And yeah, it's cool. It's very cool.
So the question is, do wealthy people read more because they have more free time, or are they wealthy people because they read more?
I mean, listen, I don't know. I mean, I think the books that I've read in the past, a lot of them have helped me. I'm friends with a lot of the authors of the books that I read. I shouldn't say a lot of them, some of them.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So it's cool. Like reading Josh's book, like when Josh writes books, like I'm there for like a lot of those stories. And I'm like, no. I'm thinking to myself, that's not how it was. You forgot that this guy was, you know what I mean? It's just fun being in those,
It's a vanity read.
Last time the Dow Jones Industrial Average made a new all-time high was on my father's birthday, December the 4th of 2024. And so speaking of Cubans, shout out to Dad. And you got people talking about how the market is so frothy and this winning is unsustainable. I don't know. Dow hasn't even made a new all-time high yet. That seem frothy to you?
No, not in the case of the Dow.
What would make the market frothy?
Excessive
overbought readings.
Excessive euphoria.
Overbought readings.
Spencer Israel talking about how fart coins are the blue chip of the cycle.
Overbought. Wait. Overbought readings.
Throw them up the ARC chart. Extreme momentum readings.
Okay,
you could use. I like to use percentage from the 200-day moving average, but you could use any moving average.
Overbought
some very basic ways to measure
in the technical sense is what I'm getting.
This is how I like to measure extension from the primary trend.
Okay.
But the short interest is still at all-time highs.
Fine, JC. They could both.
Just saying, for example, if the short interest had dropped off and everybody's like, "Oh my God, Kathy Wood's going to be the next president, Nobel Prize." Like when we're in that scenario, that's one thing. It's the opposite. They're shorting the crap out of these things.
Yeah, but it can stay elevated forever. Right, JC. So
well, the best trends tend to stay elevated by definition.
These shorts are going to get ripped to shreds right now.
They have been. They already have been.
Have you seen the banks and the biotechs?
Yes. Thank you very much. Can we go to the state of the markets, please? Steve Strazza, you nailed it. Nailed it.
What?
You nailed it. You're spot on. Banks and biotech. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the world's most important stock market index, down 170 points this morning. It's about 1/3%, 44,860. We got the S&Ps down 1/3%, down about 22 handles, 64.66. NASDAQ 100 down 40 bips. That's 100 points to the downside, 23,843 for the NASDAQ 100 futures. All right, 30-year bond futures flat at 115.5. Crude oil up 0.5% at 63. Copper down 0.75%, 445. You got gold down a smidge at 3,400 even. Silver down 0.75%, 38.25, with the VIX up to 15 after closing in the 14s yesterday. Over in funny money land, Bitcoin getting the crap kicked out of it this morning. Down about 3,600 points off the lows, but down about 3,600 points still. That's just below 120 for Bitcoin. You got Ethereum down 2.5%, 46.25 for Ethereum off the lows this morning already, though. After getting slammed, Ethereum BTC still up on the day. Ethereum continuing to outperform BTC, highest levels this cycle. Over in Solana, you got Solana back under 200, down 1% and changed. Again, also off the lows. And that Solana ETH ratio in the green once again today, despite any selling this morning. That brings the total crypto market cap, Mr. Spencer Israel, $4 trillion even to the penny, exactly $4 trillion. What stands out from this morning's futures?
Exactly $4 trillion right now.
Right now, 4 trillion. 4T says 4T.
I don't know about that.
Down 118. Up now 3.99. See, Spencer, you ruined it all. We had it at 4T for just a second. 3.99 now.
Yeah. So
right, way to screw that one up.
So the PPI
Oh yes.
is doing some things out here.
Yes, PPI missed, yeah.
Do you get down with PPI? Yeah, you know why?
Bitcoin, just flashed from 121 to 118.
Was that a flash crash
PPI
there, Mr.
report?
Strazza? Would that be considered a flash crash, as they say?
No, but I mean S&P 500 futures still falling.
Oh no, PPI beat. I'm sorry. What was I saying? PPI didn't. Yeah, came in
Can
way.
we get back to what Strazza was
Now,
saying? Strazza
yeah.
slide 2, sir. Tell me more.
It's less about miss or beat with this. It's hot or cold, and how does the market like it today?
That's right.
Hot or cold,
Is
Mr.
good
Beat.
news bad news, or is it good news good news? Right. That's the
Right.
question.
So I clearly here. So I guess the PPI came in.
It's hot.
So what's
Hot,
the story?
which means-
What's the story with these narrative monkeys? So this is too good of a report, so they're not going to cut interest rates, and the market's more interested in lower interest rates than they are in a good economy. Do I have that right?
No,
This narrative has creeped in and
Pretty
taken
good,
over.
Spencer.
that's not bad.
Since the middle of last week, there's a new narrative, which is that we're cutting now. And if inflation comes in too hot between now and the next meeting, it's going to fuck that up. That's what this action is. Right?
You know this number's not
super
accurate, right?
hot
Everybody
last
knows. We all know
Hmm?
this number is a Fugazi number. You know this is just like a guess, right? Everybody knows that, right?
Look, no, economic data. It's a moving target. All right. It's
You know
very
that
hard.
this information that was delivered this morning may or may not have even happened in the past. Meanwhile, we are looking at what is actually happening. And what is actually happening is that Steve Strazza is talking about regional banks and talking about biotechnologies. I am very interested in what's about to come out of his mouth.
Look at it because the Fed looks at it, and I guarantee you the Fed is paying
They
attention.
look at
to
biotechs and regionals.
No. PPI.
Oh my God, we're still on the PPI.
No,
Can we move on from this nonsense?
And you know what else the Fed probably pays attention to? Interest rate sensitive stocks, interest rate sensitive areas.
You think the Fed watches the show? You think they watch the show?
No.
Hey, what is his name? Tyrone Powell?
No.
Tyrone, listen,
Not
my
bad.
man. I don't know what you're doing over there. Some people say you're doing a hell of a job. Some people say you suck. I personally am not qualified to make that decision, but
Well,
if you could lower interest rates, that'd be great. I'd be down for that. So, just man to man, one ignorant guy to another. Apparently,
it's not only his call, unfortunately, Jason.
well, maybe Tyrone, maybe step it up a little bit. You know,
If all these interest rate sensitive stocks are already zooming though, before they cut rates, you don't think Powell's saying to his buddies like, guys, what are we gonna do? We're gonna come out here and cut rates?
you think they're buddies or you think they hate each other? I think they hate each other.
I think they must. There has to be some sort of camaraderie or yeah. There.
Yeah,
It's
Have you
such a
met these
boring.
guys?
It's such a boring job, JC. I'm sure they're buddies. They have to be.
I don't know.
But
Can we
they gotta
please,
be.
enough. Can we please, can we just talk about the biotechs and the regionals? Can you just throw me a
breaking
bone
out.
here? What were you gonna say? You're killing me, Smalls.
You could jump a breakout in this giant base. We didn't have it drawn like that in this one, but you could drop a VWAP here in the XBI, jump a breakout, get in 10, 15 points early to a base that's about to break out just north of 100. And this is a brand new uptrend. This is a group of stocks that has not participated, a very risk-on, very offensive group of stocks that we look to for risk-on information, finally joining the party. At the same time, regional banks are waking up, and this makes sense. You know,
You own any banks?
hell yeah, yes, yeah, a ton, and this makes
Little
sense.
banks.
Right?
I'm not talking about the big ones.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
big.
have any.
I'm big in the QB, man.
Yeah.
Buy the QB.
You always like that one.
Yep. So, still like it a lot. This is no surprise, the price action from these groups. We've talked a lot about it just this summer. I've called it the 3Bs, banks, biotechs, and home builders, right? When one is working or two are working, I look to the third one and I say, why aren't you working? These stocks move together. They couldn't be any more different. So it's such a beautiful thing. They move together. It's the bond market. Trust me. So with the price action home builders, I'm looking at banks. I'm like, they got to get up off the floor here. Biotechs had already showed some signs of life, but just the past couple of sessions, some really nice momentum from these two groups. And this could spark a sustained leadership shift in the relative trend between large and small cap stocks. This,
that's been on my radar all week. I mean, even last week, like, some potential, rotation into some of those smalls. I don't own any regional banks. I added to biotechs this week. So, just that continues to work. One I would bring everybody's attention to is BBIO, sold off last week after earnings. And then, boy, did that thing come back. Holy smokes.
Yep.
You see that BBIO?
Looks great.
Dude, they sold them off down like 10% or something like that overnight after earnings. And it came all the way back every single day and now new highs. Like,
that's a shake and bake. Yeah.
What is that like when you see something like that in a stock where they crash it? I mean, they slam it on the earnings. It's a big move. It's a biotech, so you expect that, but it's a big biotech. It's like 9-10 billion, and then they bring it back all the way. Like, what does that signal to you?
Oh, that's one of the best reversal patterns you'll get. It's when they happen around earnings too. That indecision, that knee-jerk reaction, exploring one direction almost all the way before a big reversal. I have scans for this, JC. Pull up GIL. So I'm getting alerted all day of this exact situation. Pull up Gildan. Look at that. That's what you're talking about, right? They try to slam it. Stock gaps down 5-10%. And then by the end of the day, it's almost up. The next day, it's higher. And now it's breaking out new all-time highs. That's powerful. Really cool.
So I woke up this morning to a text message.
Mm-hmm.
Ready for this? Do you want to buy QBTS calls? Sean says they're cheap right now.
Who says they're cheap, Sean?
That was the text message. I would have to, Sean, tell me if that's fake news or not.
Yeah.
QBTS, this is the D-Wave Quantum. This is a...
I know what it is. It looks great.
Dude, you're not smart enough to know what it is.
I know what it is.
You don't know
it's
what
the D-Wave. He's on TV all the time, this guy. He talks a lot.
Does he?
Talker. Yeah.
Is that a negative when the CEO is just always talking?
I think
that's
so.
got to be a negative, right?
Depends on the industry, right? Did you know, right, as somebody who knows nothing about this basket of stocks, Rigetti is supposed to be like the legit one. They're like the good guys.
Rigetti's
got
like the
the best tech.
Coinbase of all these scams.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Hotly debated area, JC. You have one group of people who at this point is convinced they're right because the market, right, is supporting their view, who, just convinced that quantum's the next big thing. This is bigger than AI, blah, blah, blah. And then you have another group of people, tech savvy analysts, market participants, who will tell you there's absolutely nothing here, like nothing here. So very divided
can you throw
on
up
this
slide 2?
potential mega trend.
Throw a slide 2. I don't know anything. I can honestly, whenever I spell quantum, I have to double check that I spelled it right because I can't remember if there's like a U or an A. I mean, not my field. But I look at this and I don't know much. But I don't know, man. If we're above those initiation highs there from 22, man, looks pretty good.
So many speculative growth stocks look like this out here these days. I mean, I look at this chart, JC, I just think, is that Rocket Labs? How do we know which ones to buy? That becomes one of the tougher things in the later stages of the
I don't
bull
know. I
market.
think you buy the ones that look like this. Am I wrong?
When you see a pattern that keeps working, just keep buying it. That's one of the cheat codes to what we
Riley thinks that's a great chart.
do. I know.
I can't believe that Riley likes the quantum stock. I can't believe that. Good chart, quantum. Hey, Riley's all over this. Billy Cunningham says, I thought Ion Q was the real one.
We could think a lot of things, but at the end of the day, these are quantum computing stocks, and none of them are really real just yet. Wolf is up 36%. I'm in calls. I got some calls. Because
let me ask
when you
you
buy
this.
the Bitcoin miners, JC,
Hold on.
you
Sticking
just
with this
sprinkle
quantum. Do we want the best of breed, or do we want the scam from China?
both. You want
a barbell
straight shot.
approach?
Yeah.
So you buy the Pulte homes, and then you buy like the shady Russian one. What's the shady Russian home builder? What's that one?
I don't know, like Top Build or whatever.
No,
Yeah, you buy
those. Is it like that?
Yeah, buy a little bit of everything.
By the way, those Pulte skull Freudian slip, those Pulte scams. Those Pulte calls doubled already.
We were in the DR Hortons, dude. We went 10x on these trades, and they weren't hard. They were easy trades to make. We got there on time. We were patient. We doubled down.
They weren't easy. We were obsessed with that situation and monitoring every single day, but nobody wanted anything to do with that.
Yeah, that was the trade of the summer.
We did.
A lot of other things have worked, but the home builders for me, like that was the one to be big in. That was like the obvious, but that was a layup. And guess what? It's mostly over.
We got Kenny coming in, but I just want to say one more thing to the audience listening out there. Part of that trade is really reverse engineering what the next leg of a bull market looks like. And if you're in the camp that this bull market has legs, and we were in the camp that the bull market had legs, then home builders are just not going to complete a massive top and start to crash if we're about to start the next leg higher in a bull market. So you sort of reverse engineer what the market environment looks like in this next leg. And homies ripping is just part of that, right? So it's not like some like magic indicator, like, oh my God, and the anchored VWAP and the volume profile and the MACD and da-da-da. I mean, it's less about all that and more about if the market's going higher, are homies going to just roll over and crash? Probably not. We should be buying home builders, right? And then it's all that other fancy stuff, right? So think about it like that.
The story in one chart was that overlay of home builders and semiconductors. Yeah. So real quick, MicroStrategy, it's not acting right. Something is seriously wrong here. It's being masked by the fact that Bitcoin is so strong. This has not been going well almost all year. You know when this stopped going well, JC? I was in Miami and there was a big line of people waiting for Michael Saylor's autograph, and then he got rushed out of the conference by a group of security guards right before Patrick and I and Blake got to meet him. That's when things stopped working for MicroStrategy. When Michael Saylor was doing tours around Miami, giving interviews to financial advisors.
I just want to show the 4-month lows, and then we'll get to Kenny. Throw up slide 2
Do you
there.
agree with my take? This was the vehicle.
Look.
There was MicroStrategy and everything else. It's not working at all. It's not doing what it's supposed to do.
So these are now these are now new 4-month lows yesterday in MicroStrategy relative to IBIT, new 4-month lows. So that trade of short MicroStrategy, long Bitcoin has been working. I'm not in it. I wasn't in favor of it. Maybe I will.
I don't like it. No, yeah. I get
All
it.
right, get Kenny in here.
Hold on though.
Hold on,
This
just get Kenny. Come on, let's go. It's almost 9 o'clock. Let's get him in. We got people to talk to.
This
We'll
is
get back
important.
to this.
It's been a long time coming. They ain't come from my club, they took it. Putting up numbers, 99 pounds, and I still kept it 100. Hold up. Yeah.
Kenny Glick in the house.
Nice hat.
Oh yeah, not bad, right? Not bad.
I don't remember giving you one, but that's cool. Did you buy from my online store?
Oh yes. I paid the premium price. I have the special edition version signed by one Kenny Glick. No.
Very cool. We got something else coming out. I just got 100 of these. Check this bad boy out. So I got the bull on the front, and if you will like, the bears on the back. And this
You
could
just
be
got
yours.
those?
This could be yours tonight. So come to the schmooze.
You have like a silver coin broker, or do you go to a place?
I've got there's like 4 or 5 sites I choose. You know, I buy from.
Dude, I got cold called by a boiler room in Long Island last week.
I still get those.
Of selling me some JFK coins, some kind of with some like some shiny thing.
Right.
You know anything? I don't know anything about these, but he was trying to explain to him. I gave him a shot. I was like,
yeah. If somebody has to call you,
steel or something, he was saying.
Yeah, if somebody's calling you to pitch you silver, don't buy it. So it's basically as
They were JFK coins. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, well, it could have been. It could be the one of the JFK coins. It's a silver coin that people do collect. It's really popular.
There was some auction in Phoenix he was just at. I don't know why anybody would want to be in
We
Phoenix.
just picked up
August.
an incredible hoard of coins, and I'm calling you to pass the savings on to you, Mr. Jones. Pick up all you can, and don't forget to buy 10,000 shares of XYZ while you're at it. Don't ask your wife.
That's right. Just like that. Just like that. He was a low man on the totem pole, so I didn't break his balls too bad. You could tell his senior broker was sitting there listening to the conversation.
Right on, right on.
You know, the NASDAQ is doing that thing again where it's not green. You know, I know.
You're not thinking about shorting, are you?
I'm just saying. Spencer Israel was out here this morning talking about how Fart Coin is a blue chip, and now we got the NASDAQ down. I got to check my eyes here. Down 0.5% this morning on the NASDAQ 100 futures.
I know.
I don't know.
Listen, I'm getting mildly excited because we did flirt with 3 days worth of VWAP. If we can break 4, that actually is something. But right now we're smack dab in the middle, and we just have to assume we'll be green by 10:30. We was just talking to Joel Kahn and Dennis. Dennis is with me. He's like, the market just doesn't go down anymore, and Joel just is. He's like hanging on to the bearishness. I love him. He's so cute right now, but he's been hanging on for like. He called me. He's like, "This is it, Kenny." In April, when the tariff thing was happening, he's like, "This is it. This is the one we don't come back from." I'm like, "Are you being serious right now?" I was like, "I'm the bear here. Trust me."
Well, I gotta have a chat with Joel. I haven't spoken to him in a minute. How's he doing? He's doing all right?
Oh, awesome. Yeah, they do the pre-market prep show. It's awesome. Dennis is all over the pre-market, which again, if you guys are
Shout out Benzinga, longtime friends.
They broke up. They're independent now.
They don't work. They're not doing the. It's not the Benzinga show.
I think it was a breakup. Now they're an independent entity.
Oh wow, out in the wild, outside of the old Benzinga.
Yeah.
Spencer Israel also comes from Benzinga.
Right.
Steve Strazza almost worked at Benzinga way back in the day, but came to All Star Charts instead. Now he runs the show there. Now, not a bad trade, Strazza. Not a bad trade.
It's Strazza. By the way, you're famous in my house now. So my son and I were talking. I'm getting my kid into trading and teaching him about VWAP, and I was telling some guys to read the newsletters. And I gave a couple of names. He's like, "What about Strazza?" I'm like, "What about Strazza?"
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude, I get calls from homies, like neighbors. They're like, "Yo, this Strazza guy, what is up with this guy? This guy's on fire. Is this legit?" Like, that's the question I get. Is this legit? you know, my college roommate's brother-in-law is calling me, be like, he's like a private equity guy.
Yeah.
I mean, Strazza, my neighbor, shout out to Bill. Bill's like, yo, he was asking me what was up the other day. He's like, yo, is Strazza freaking out right now? I forgot what it was. Something Strazza was in was ripping. And then
What's not ripping, right?
all right, Kenny, what do you got this morning?
By the way, before we go, move on to the topic. I'm a big fan of Quantum. And again, Quantum was a fad 2 years ago. That's why the Rigetti, that was a 90-cent stock. The QB at TS, that was a 30-cent stock. These stocks came out of those Andy Dufresne patterns. We've been loving them ever since. And this consolidation up at these levels, you can't ignore this. Whether or not you believe this is the next phase of whatever, and I do. I'm a big fan. You know, space rockets, robots, quantum AI, and chip stocks. That's what's going to power this. The QQQ.
All of Riley's favorite things. Those are Riley's like favorite words.
Yeah, I was on Yahoo Finance 2 years ago. Thank you very much. And that day, I started talking about again as the most bullish bear on earth.
Why are you thanking me? What did I do?
You got me that spot that morning, and I went over to Yahoo.
Oh, I got you the interview to Yahoo Finance. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then
Good friends over there.
I unveiled the space rockets robots trade, and I mentioned a couple of these names. Even RR, you guys know about this one? This is a robotics play that's back above $2. Pretty cool. But yeah, the trade. We want to talk about psychotic markets. So yesterday we're trading. I think it was one of the MicroStrategy. Just mention that you do something like that stock, ATNF, right? And the name of the company is 180 Life Sciences, and had nothing to do with life sciences. By the way, let me show you this next one. And guys, if you just bought it, buy it, XPON. So here's the joke. ATNF was 180 Life Sciences. Today, look at this chart. We're trading XPON. So this one is 360 in the name. So I guess it's got to be twice as good. Anyway, but look, there's the faux show, bro. There's my VWAP. There's the reason we bought it. Sold at the red lines and the red lines. I just sold it on the way down before 375. And now the stock just broke over 4. So this is still the market we're in. There are 3 of these every day. And some go 2x, 5x, 10x, 100x. So the pre-market is still rip-roaring with these crazy names. And as long as you trade them accordingly, just don't buy and hold your nose and hope for the best. Remember, hope and faith, that's no investment strategy. Those are the 2 strippers I'll be hanging out with next Tuesday. But there you go. Faux show, bro, on some stock I never heard of them until this morning. I'm in. Yesterday, 180. Today, 360. Let's go. But I am looking at the Qs. And again, the joke is we never stay down. But right now we are, here's my 5-day VWAP. If we go below that, the market actually has a chance to stay down today. And then it actually might stay down tomorrow too. So we've seen some sellers. We saw a blow off top on earnings 2 weeks ago, and we saw some selling. That selling was met with an equal and greater move to the upside. But the last 3 days, we've actually made money shorting the Qs. It was a grind yesterday, but we got the VWAP break and we got 2.5 points out of it. So now if we can't get back above yesterday's lows, that's bearish. Below today's VWAP, that's bearish. And if we break that 5-day VWAP, which is more, it's only 2.5 points more to the downside, we're going to have a hard time going back up for the first time of what seems like since May 12th on the power gap.
So 578 and change there is the 1-day VWAP. We start getting above there. Then
the shorts ain't gonna like it. Yeah,
the shorts are gonna get their faces ripped off again.
Right. But listen, some of these names, again, they're very isolated from what's going on. You mentioned Wolf, phenomenal trade this morning. I didn't partake in this one, but look at this wonderment, right? So again, if you missed that first move, the explosion at 7 in the morning, there's your little faux show bro action. And then we generally just buy the high break after the fake out shakeout. And that would have been a pretty damn good entry at 681. I don't know about this one. What is this? Is another miner, or did they mention MicroStrategy's idea? I don't know. Every stock that does that just goes 5x, 10x.
You hear that, folks? The faux show bro coming into play again and again and again. They won't teach you that in the textbooks. They don't teach you about the faux show bro in the CMT exams or the CFA exams or whatever letters you're trying to get. This is real life, guys. This is real life. Shout out to the faux show bro. Listen, Kenny calls it the faux show bro, the fake out, the shakeout, and then ultimately the breakout. Faux show bro. but this is really a variation of, things we've seen others do, and myself, we call them whipsaws where I come from. From failed moves come fast moves in the opposite direction. That's a big Brian Shannon thing. Our friend Scott Redler calls it the red dog reversal, which is kind of similar without the anchored VWAP, but same idea. The market is caught on the wrong side, right? The shorts are getting squeezed or the longs are getting slammed,
right?
But there's a group of participants that are caught on the wrong side, and the Faux Show Bro is a fantastic, arguably the best way I've ever seen to quantify exactly that, what us others have done in different ways. This is the best way I've ever seen it, Kenny.
Yeah, thanks, man. And when it happens under the VWAP and then breaks the VWAP, that confirms that you're about to bro, and that has been the trade. And it's basically since I started trading, and now with VWAP and like you said, with the prior day VWAP, when the shakeout holds prior day VWAP, oh, you're onto something. The shorts are getting suckered and the longs just got stopped out at the worst price, and everyone's going to get FOMO and the shorts are going to cover and we're going to rip higher. So yeah, it's been a great trade.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the bid. Kablam!
Hey, listen, that's right. And if you guys are free tonight, email me, kennyglick@aol.com. I got a secret thing going on.
You're not using AOL anymore, Kenny.
Or the email address on the screen that works too.
Because it's so much fun. It's so much fun using my AOL. I love it. I still have
Don't email his AOL if you're listening out there.
I have a lot of emails, but that one's the most fun. Tonight we have a woman that's developed a new Bloomberg type of terminal. It's an AI version of the Bloomberg, and it does more than just stocks. It accumulates data for people that are putting projects together, and it's over my head. So I'm having her on the show. I'm going to give her the floor, and if you're interested, she's smarter than me. Most people are. But it's fascinating technology, and it's something that I'm thinking about investing in, and it's a private company, and I want everybody to meet this woman. Phenomenal stuff, and whoever's using what it is flabbergasted by it. So we're going to learn a little bit more what she's got. So if you're free tonight, 8 p.m., I'm going to have her on, and play some Grateful Dead first, and then we'll have a DJ at 10. So
if you're in the room, you know where to find the schmooze. If you're not in the room, email the address on the screen. You'll get access to the schmooze.
By the way, yes, I still use dial-up. That's right.
That's right.
No, it's officially over. Like this week. Did you hear?
Yeah.
They actually shut it down.
It's so funny. No more floppy disk. Yeah. I got to get rid of my iOmega. All right, you guys. Good luck. And if you're in this Wolf or that XPON, they just had the blow off top on the XPON. Be careful. You got to get out of this thing. All right.
Rock and roll.
Always an adventure.
Always an adventure with Kenny Glick. Always a new idea. I like the perspective. The market could go lower or it could go higher. But depending on what it does, increases the probabilities of that decision, higher or lower. So, yeah. Right.
All right, we got Jason Krutzky in the house.
Nice.
From Spot Trading. I guess we'll just bring him out. All right.
Bring him out. Bring him out.
I got a little bumper for Jason. I got a little surprise.
Nice. Do you? Wow, that was a great bumper.
That was a great bumper. Yeah, nice work. Wow.
Yeah.
Shout out Izzy. I did nothing.
That was great. Nice job, Izzy. Izzy's like a DLG degen, so he likes it when we do stuff like this.
Yeah.
So he's gonna work harder on the content if it's
Oh, let's go. Yeah, I need to get him a new headshot. Got an old headshot. I need to get him a new one.
Listen, Jason, I want the folks at home to know why we brought you here. Not a lot of TradFi bros are having conversation about what's going on in memes. And, this isn't just like little crypto penny stock bullshit. This is much bigger than that, right? This is a big theme. When we talk about memes, we talk about Bitcoin as maybe the greatest meme ever. We talk about Jesus Christ and the culture around all of that as one of the greatest, if not the greatest meme ever. So when I try to explain people meme culture, and Jason is the expert, not me, but how I like to think about it as like not an expert, but where it helps me make sense of the situation as to why the peanut, the squirrel, and the hippopotamus are ripping. People
day.
can't wrap their heads around it. When I think about things like Bitcoin, when I think about things like Christianity, it helps make sense of it all. As somebody who has, went to Catholic school as long as I did, I'm like, oh, got it.
I mean, financializing virality, right? Like,
Sure.
I mean, that's what it all boils down to, is that everything, every moment, every viral thing on the internet can be financialized now and can be traded and you can make money off of it. And so, yeah, I mean, I have a huge music background as a touring musician for many, many years. And so I've been kind of a culture vulture all my life. I've always kind of paid attention to what the kids are doing. And yeah, this is a very logical place for me to kind of land, I guess.
No, I love it. I know you brought some stuff, and feel free to bring up the slides that you sent in. But for the people at home that just have no idea what the hell is going on, and as somebody who trades these things and keeps up with it as best I can, I could tell you it's really hard to keep up. Sure. Because it's literally changing by the second. So for others, I imagine it's probably even more impossible, to the point where they just ignore it all because it's not worth trying to keep up, because you can't. Try to fill us in. Where are we today, August the 14th at 9:15 a.m. Eastern time, because it'll be different in 10 minutes.
Yeah,
where are we today? What the hell is going on?
Yeah, so I think that what makes the most logical sense, the place for me to start, is with the launchpad wars. I'm sure that there are some people in the audience that are familiar with launchpads like Pump.Fun and Let's Bonk and Jupiter Studio and all these things. But for those of you who are not tuned into this is a key component that's driving everything in the meme coin space right now. This isn't the only component. There are absolutely meme coins that are doing really well that are not involved in the quote unquote launchpad wars. But the launchpad wars are kind of like what I'm most focused on, because it's really driving the bigger narrative. So what is a launchpad? For those of you who are not initiated yet, launchpads are just tools that allow people to very easily and quickly launch meme coins, right? There are quite a few of them out there. You've got the big boys. You've got Pump Fun, Let's Bonk, Jupiter Studio, Bags and Believe are kind of like the 5 big ones right now, today. Again, like you said, this could change tomorrow. Moonshot could come out with a coin, and all of a sudden everybody's wanting to launch on Moonshot or what have you. But right now, these guys are the big boys. And I would even filter it down even more to just the top 3: Pump Fun, Let's Bonk, Jupiter Studio. And kind of like we see in trad markets, where money flows from one sector to another sector, sectors get really hot, and then money, smart money starts taking profits and putting that money to work in sectors that are kind of beat down. We're seeing that here in meme coins too. So if you jump to the next chart, this is, I think that you guys should interview this guy, Adam Tech. He is fucking brilliant, and he creates all these really interesting Dune dashboards that allow us to kind of see what's going on under the hood of all of these launchpads. You can, just understand all of their daily metrics and then how those metrics stack up. So what we're looking at here is daily tokens deployed per launchpad. The light green bars, that's Pump.Fun. So very clearly, Pump.Fun has kind of commanded the conversation for a long time. The orange bars is Bonk, Let's Bonk. So the Bonk meme coin, they have a token deployer called Let's Bonk. And you can see where Let's Bonk started pulling market share away from Pump.Fun, kind of like early July. So Pump.Fun released their coin, right? The Pump token. They did a ICO, and that marked kind of the top of, as you would expect, it marked kind of the top for a short term of kind of the Pump ecosystem. And just as they did that, the coin immediately sold off, and Bonk team just like capitalized on the event. They kind of gained all of the mind share and all of the market share. Everybody wanted to launch tokens on Bonk. The Bonk token started absolutely ripping. And so now we're starting to see the role reversal again, right? Pump is starting to gain market share again. They are kind of coming back in favor, and we can talk through kind of why that's the case. The Launchpad Wars are these launch pads just kind of like duking it out with one another, trying to gain market share, because ultimately at the end of the day, it's just a big money game, right? If the launch pad runs the show, if whatever launch pad is in the front view, right, that's leading the race, they are the coolest launch pad. Their tokens are doing the best, right? They're getting the most new tokens being launched on their launch pad, which means they're making tons of fees. You know, every time a token gets launched, the launch pad owns a little percentage of the token, and also they get fees on the trading side. So it's all a battle for attention, and these guys are just like fucking duking it out. It's actually pretty amazing to watch. And if you can kind of like, just like you can kind of read sentiment in TradFi, if you can kind of read the sentiment in the tea leaves of like, oh man, this feels like a time when Pump might need to like cool off, and some new entrant needs to come in. Like, it was very clear that Bonk was going to kind of take the center stage, and then
Jason, let me ask you this. So as traders, as investors, as people who are trying to make money in these tokens, why should we care who's winning the Launchpad Wars? Why should it matter to us?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah. So launchpads, the way that launchpads get attention is by their tokens ripping, right? How do they make their tokens rip? Well, they buy them, right? They use the fees that they earn from their, they use their revenues to buy up the key tokens. And so this is what we saw with Useless. This is what we saw with Troll. This is what we saw with Uranus. This is what we're seeing.
Throw up the Troll chart there.
Yeah, so throw up the Troll chart. So this is Troll. This is the most recent Pump.Fun token that really kind of like made a huge move. And honestly, this is the reason why Pump is starting to gain market share again. So Pump was kind of in the drabs. They released their token. Everybody lost money on their token launch, and they needed a good way to like get back in the good standing of the community and, just get back in good standing. And so the easiest, simplest way that they could do that was to support one of their eco coins. So Troll launched on Pump, mid-April, something like that. Huge base, multi-month base, gorgeous. Been watching this for quite a while. This breakout, I mean, obviously 26 mil to 260 mil, right? A 10x. Over the course of, 10 sessions, 12 sessions, something like that. This is what launch pads are doing. They are pumping eco coins to get attention. And it's become kind of the expected thing.
And when you say eco coins, coins for the ecosystem?
Yeah. So an eco coin is just, Troll is a pump eco coin. It's part of the Pump ecosystem.
Got it.
They're doing this for other coins too. Troll is just the figurehead. Troll is the one that they like probably just put the most money into, frankly. And they're doing this with the guise of like, we're supporting the community. Troll, maybe they have community metrics. They understand how many holders there are. Like, there are 42,500 holders of this particular coin. Maybe they're looking at that. I don't know all the specific metrics that Pump is looking at to make them decide, yeah, we need to support this particular coin. But this is what all of the launch pads are doing. They are finding key coins, and then they're taking revenues and supporting those coins, which is causing charts to do this, which then causes people to go, oh shit, if I mint a coin on Pump and it does well, maybe I can get them to support it. And maybe my coin, this will happen to my coin as well.
Jason, are these launch pads launching their own coins, or are they incentivizing others to launch coins in their ecosystem, or both?
They're incentivizing others. I mean, so Pump did launch the Pump token, right? It was an ICO. And, this is obviously it represents a much bigger basket, right? It represents Pump as a whole, not just a single token on Pump. My theory, I'm a little bit of a tinfoil hat guy with all of this stuff, and I kind of fear that a little bit of it is more nefarious than it should be. You could still make money on it, you know.
I think you're signing up for that though, right? I think when you're trading these things, you're aware, like that, and you're good with that.
You are totally.
By the way, it's like that in TradFi too. Hate to break it to y'all.
Right. Exactly. And so, and what I think this was about, like, you know, Pump doesn't, like, the Pump team doesn't want this token to fail, but it's a lot harder for them to pump this token, right? They can't go in and buy up the action that they can take, which is support a coin. It doesn't go nearly as far for Pump. It goes really far for Troll, right? They 10x Troll. They get all the eyeballs on Troll. And what does that do? That pumps Pump, right? So like they can spend a little bit of money, pump Troll, get all the eyeballs back on the Pump ecosystem, and then that causes Pump to rip, right? Pump doubled off the bottom. And this is a, you know, $4 billion market cap, right?
So it's harder to support it, obviously, because it's much bigger.
Correct. Yeah. So they use their small tokens to bring market share here. I mean, obviously getting rejected at the launch day anchored VWAP. I talk about this on my feed all the time. I'm trying to educate, like, kids in the trenches have no clue about technical analysis. I'm doing my very best here at Spot to kind of like just show them very basic things. Anchored VWAP is a great one. Attach it to launch day, no matter what token you're looking at, and let that be your temperature gauge. Above, we're good. Below, just don't touch it. Wait for price to get back above it. You know, most of these coins go to zero. That is a death knell if price is stuck below the anchored VWAP from the
Jason's in the trenches, in the dungeons of the degen spaces and whatnot, and but Jason's a formerly trained CMT, you know, chartered market technician, CMT charter holder. So
no. I'm a chartered meme technician.
Oh, is that what you are?
Chartered meme technician, not a charter. No. I'm not a
chartered meme technician. Understood.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'm a meme guy. You know, like the meme is there. I have to use it. So good. Yeah. Love it. All right. So yesterday. Useless is Let's Bonk's key coin yesterday, just in one day. Binance US listing, and they got added to the Coinbase asset like roadmap. So they're not listed on Coinbase yet, but they are going to be. Obviously, huge news. This one, same exact deal, right? The Bonk team has all kind of conspired around and like all of the key, we call them KOLs, key opinion leaders in the space. All of the key Bonk KOLs are all pointing to Useless and saying, this is our horse in the race. This thing is going to billions. We are going to make sure that it goes to billions. They are pumping mad amounts of money. I mean, Bonk is doing more as far as like supporting ecosystem coins than any other launchpad. They are putting way more money into all of these coins than Pump is, for sure, by many multiples. And Useless is their main coin. This one's been around for a handful of months, came, you know, like beautiful falling wedge into the anchored VWAP from launch. And right before it gets there, they have these big announcements. And the reason why they have these big announcements is simply because Pump came in and tried to like knock them off their throne. You know, Pump came in, Pump Troll, got the attention back, and Bonk team's like, no, fuck that. We are going to now like let you in on what we've been working on, which is Coinbase and Binance listings for our biggest coins. So what that does for people like myself and people that are watching these things, it says like, all right, well, you guys have direct connection to Coinbase, direct connection to Binance. That tells me something, you know, that's alpha. That's like, that means more coins from your eco could end up going down this route. You guys are clearly doing what you need to do to make sure that your coins do well. It just gives confidence, right? So Useless, key coin trading 270 mil, something like that. I think that this is like, this one has the most potential to be the fart coin, let's say, of the Bonk ecosystem.
Can we get to that? Because I know Coffee Doggy here asking if a coin is called Useless, and now you're talking about fart coin and some of these others. The names of the coins are really important. Like putting my fundamental hat on, like the names themselves go a long way, or great names also bomb too. Like, how do you think about the name?
It's really tough to say because a great name does not inherently mean that the meme is going to do well. You know, really, really what makes a meme do really well is the ecosystem or the launch pad supporting it. Like that is really what it boils down to. There are some memes that have done pretty well organically, but at some point that organic strength just results in ecosystem support, right? Like a coin has to kind of get so far, and then the ecosystem comes out and says, you know what? You've proven to us that you're worth our support. So if we jump to the next chart, we could talk about Jupiter Studio and their key coin Uranus. So Jupiter Studio,
also a great name.
for Jupiter, oh my God, it's absolutely perfect. They couldn't have picked a better one. And literally, when Jupiter Studio launched, we all know Jupiter like the DEX aggregator, right? We've been familiar with Jupiter, the Jupe token, for some years. It's a multi-billion-dollar token. I use it every day to just swap tokens back and forth. You know, like it's a major tool in the toolbox or whatever. They launched Jupiter Studio. Jupiter Studio is their token launching platform. And when they launched it, they kind of launched it and that was it. The team kind of like didn't say anything. The guys that run Jupiter, Cash and Meow, they didn't really say anything about it. They just launched this thing, said, here's this tool. Here's all the things you can do with it. Have fun. And they just kind of sat back. And on day one, they did 100 million in revs. And this token got launched on day one. And I remember I was talking to Nikki about the tokens that were being launched that day. And I was like, if any token is going to win the race here, it's Uranus. I guarantee it. Like, it was a no-brainer. It went to whatever, 20 mil or 16, 17 mil on, like within the first couple of days. And then as you can see, it went sideways for about a month. The day that it popped off like this, went, you know, whatever, 14 mil to 40 mil, was the day that the Jupiter team, the founder, Meow, and the guy who runs the company, Cash, both came out in support. They said, you know what? It's very clear that the Uranus community is a real thing. They are doing stunts around LA with this Uranus token, trying to get Elon Musk to, like, you know, trying to convince Elon Musk, shoot for farther than Mars, go to Uranus.
Nice.
The community was just a natural evolving community. There was no other token that was even close to what Uranus was doing as far as market cap, even though it was still a really small market cap. There was no token even close. And yeah, the team came out in support of it. Bing, bang, boom. You get this giant move to 80 mil from 14.
So Jason, I love the color on the background of what's actually happening behind the scenes. This is really, really great. I hope you guys at home are enjoying this. You know, a couple of things from a practicality standpoint. What's the best place to get the data? I see you're using a lot of trading view charts. You know, where's the best place to get the data? Where's the best place to chart? What's the best place to trade this?
Yeah, so from a data perspective, you know, I'm a TA guy at heart, right? I spent years working at TrendSpider, learning every TA concept in the book and teaching people how to use the platform and all that stuff. So I'm a TA guy. They don't offer meme coins. They don't have any of them. They don't have that data. So I can't use that product, unfortunately. So I'm using TradingView, or I'm just using Dex Screener for the charting component. For the trading component,
Dex Screener use TradingView charts?
Everybody does. Everybody does, because TradingView is the only one that white labels, right? So they're just everywhere.
And then but you have to go to Dex Screener to see some of these. You can't just go to tradingview.com, right?
I go to Dex Screener because sometimes TradingView doesn't have the whole history.
But Dex Screener does.
Dex Screener has it all. Yeah. And I mean, you could see these charts on spot, but they're just line charts. We haven't integrated candle charts yet. I'm kind of slowly trying to convince the team that it might be worthwhile to get some TradingView charts in there.
Nikki Montana doesn't have the technical chops that we got. You know, we're working on it. We're working on you, Nikki.
We're working on him. Yeah. I'm teaching him things as we go, and his eyes are getting open to the power of the anchored VWAP and support.
I take him for
resistance.
champagne and oysters. You teach him technical analysis, and we'll call it even.
And then he'll take me for champagne and oysters.
Nice.
Hopefully. Yeah. So all the trading. Yeah. I'm a crypto native. I've been in the space for quite some years. So I do have like kind of wallets all over the place, and I'm trading in lots of different places. But obviously I'm pretty focused here on spot. The product is exactly what the normie person who gets kind of confused by swapping and contract addresses. It's the perfect product for them, right? Like, and that honestly makes it the perfect product for me too. We offer basically every token you can think of. We're integrating ETH memes right now because we're trying to help out a pretty cool team that's working in that space. All base memes, Sol memes. You can trade Hype, Bitcoin, all the majors. So pretty much everything that you would want to trade is available in spot. Cross-chain swaps. So like, I want to buy this base token with this Sol token. You can do that in spot, and it's very simple. Whereas, if you're using a MetaMask wallet and a Phantom wallet, and trying to go between different blockchains is actually a huge pain in the ass. Swapping from different wallets, and
Been there.
And it's very easy to lose your money like quickly.
Dude, when I send money into the metaverse, like my heart, like my blood pressure rises until like I see it on the other end. Sometimes it takes longer than other times. So I'm like going to the old block and chain to see the ether scan and pretending that I know what's going on there. Like it's not pretty.
Yeah. It's not. So that's really kind of the big driver of excitement around spot is just the ability to participate in all of these different ecosystems just in one wallet. There's other features too. You can onboard or on ramp from Robinhood or Apple Pay. Like it's really easy to get money into spot. And then, once you're there and trading leaderboards and, being able to see kind of where you got in and where you got out, like there's a bit of a gamification that we're kind of working on. So the leaderboards are fun, and like talking about your thesis, why I got into this coin on that leaderboard, so people can follow you and kind of see what you're trading and what you did and what you didn't do. Those are kind of the big features. And, I think we're just going to keep on building and making cool stuff for people that they want. And then we've got this, right? Like, we are deposit matching up to $100 for all new money coming in from your whole crew. So if you
go to go.spottrading.com/all-star charge, is that what it is?
Yeah, so that is if you're signing in or logging in for the first time from your computer, go to that website, and the All-Star Charts affiliate code will automatically be available to you. And if you deposit $100, you're going to get $100 in Pengu, which is pretty sweet. That's one of the biggest, most popular, most trending meme coins that exists right now. If you log in from your phone, if you want to just go straight from your phone, just scan the QR code. And when you sign up, input the referral code All-Star Charts, and you'll get that up to $100. So it's just, we're matching up to $100. If you put $50 in, we'll give you $50 in Pengu. You put $100 or more in, we'll give you $100 in Pengu.
Jason, what attracted me to this company from the beginning, I like Nikki a lot. And, for me, it just solves a problem. As somebody who's been trading cryptocurrency for, 12, 13 years at this point, I could tell you for a fact that every single cycle, things got harder and more complicated to transact. And this is actually the first cycle ever that I've ever been a part of that things are actually easier. It's actually easier to participate in these markets for the first time ever, which is lovely. And Spot, I haven't seen anybody as good as Spot do it. You can literally trade anything you want versus having to jump through 6, 7 hoops just to trade the stupid peanut, the squirrel or whatever, right? You could just go on, put in the ticker and buy as much as you like. So I mean, talk about solving a problem. I mean, even just the time, even if you were smart enough to be able to go chain to chain and this wallet and the Phantom and the this and the that, this is so much easier and faster. Love it. Good for you guys. And I'm happy for you that you're there. It seems like a great company. You guys are doing the right things.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's been really exciting. I'm super passionate about this stuff, so it's been cool to, like, you know, get to really explore my passion. They give me a lot of freedom to just go down any rabbit hole that I'm interested in, follow the muse. So for anybody who isn't aware, right, I'm writing the spot newsletter. So 4 days a week, if you're a spot trader, 4 days a week, direct to your inbox, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, you're going to get a letter from me talking about, you know, just whatever it is that I might be seeing. It could be a coin spotlight. You know, this just the other day I was talking about Takabu. I don't know if you guys have seen Takabu, the spirit of gambling, but that community is really, really popping off, and that coin is doing really well. I give technical analysis lessons where I can. You know, I'm just trying to, like, thread the needle and help people understand kind of where to be looking, what to be looking for, how to be thinking, and in real time what I'm thinking.
No, I think it's great. We've got to have you back. I appreciate all the color. On the next time we have you on, I want to talk about, you know, what gives these memes legs, right? Maybe talk about the history of Pepe and some of these others. We talked about the launch pads today. I'd love to have a round two as soon as you're available to continue this conversation. This is great. Ladies and gentlemen, give Jason Krutzky a follow, at Krutzky Trades, and, you know, deposit some loot. You know, they'll match it for you. Get some Pengu, get on the newsletter, and do your best to keep up. That's all I'm trying to do, right?
That's all I'm trying to do.
Trying to keep up, man. That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jason. Appreciate you.
Guys. Cheers.
Adios. How about that, huh?
It is a whole new frontier.
Fascinating, man.
It's really not often that you get, like, entire new markets kind of invented out of thin air. It doesn't happen every century, right?
But is it such a new market?
Yeah, to me it is. I talked about it a few days ago, right? And Jason did as well this morning, right? Which is the idea of monetizing virality. It's a great concept. I'm glad that
somebody who's younger than me, Spencer, you're in a different, you have a different perspective on all of this. Is it easier for you to understand than it is for me or somebody older than me?
Well, the question that you said at the end there is the same question that I had, which is, and I still have, which is what gives these things legs? Because virality is a bit of a black box, right? No one, I mean, some people are good at going viral. You know, Mr. Beast comes to mind. He's good at going viral. He has a large following. But it is a bit of a black box. It's a bit of a mystery as to how it happens, and there is something magical about the internet that makes viral things go. And
you have the Hawk Tua, right? Hawk Tua was the most viral thing in the world. Now it's gone, disappeared, like it never happened, right?
Yeah. I mean,
just one example. I'm not picking on her.
No, that's a good example. So, like, taking that virality and then turning it into an investable asset that then I have to go pay taxes on 10 months later, right? It's like is a wild concept, and I'm totally here for it. You know, I think it's a great idea. So you know, I get Jason's spot emails. I'm on the platform. I'm dabbling, you know, the fart coin and all that stuff.
Dude, you love your fart coin today. How much do you own, bro?
Well, the thing is,
fart coin whale?
The thing is, it is the only thing I own that's been doing well. So
how is it the only thing you own that's doing well?
Here, I mean, let's pop into my account right now and take a look.
You're saying in the meme space?
Yeah, in the meme space. Yeah. My portfolio in the memes is, I am positive in Bonk and I got the Pengu, but I'm getting washed in, you know, the butthole, the flog, the send, getting washed in all those. So yeah, the fart coin is keeping me afloat right now. That's why I keep bringing it up. But in any case, we got
whale right here.
Yeah.
Spencer, did you just say you're getting washed in the butthole?
Yeah, I am.
Just another day. Just another day in the meme world.
Just another day. Sean, are you here? Let's bring Sean out. Hey.
Johnny baby.
I've never felt older than I feel right now listening to this fucking conversation you guys have
You're
been having.
boys with Jason. You guys are like Colorado besties over there, aren't you?
Dude, I love Jason. Jason knows that. We are of like minds, but that stuff you guys are talking about is completely over my head.
You go hiking with Jason ever?
I do, yeah. I go hiking with Jason. He's a active member of my meetup group here in Colorado, and we hang. Yeah, he's a great dude.
All right, so Sean, I don't know if you were watching the show when I said before, I received a text message this morning, and it said, quote unquote, do you want to buy QBTS calls? Sean says they're cheap right now.
Oh, so you were talking to Sam. I was talking to Sam last night.
I wouldn't say I was talking to him. It was just a text message this morning. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, the stock is it had earnings a few weeks ago. Or
How does Sam know you think they're cheap?
Implied volatility is cheap. If you look at an implied volatility chart of QBTS options, it's at near the lowest levels it's been all year, which is my qualification for assigning cheapness or expensiveness to options.
Throw up that chart there, Spencer, please. Slide 3. This thing looks freaking.
Yep, it's it broke out. It had that big breakout in May, which, by the way, that was a name that we talked about at Portfolio Accelerator in May, in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And I got into that at the accelerator. I bought it from my personal account and had a great run in it. But now it's been consolidating for the past I don't know, 2 months, and it does look great. And with the volatility coming in right now, if you wanted to keep it simple and trade it with simple call options, this is the time to do it. And I would go far out, go out 6 months, go 12 months. When the options market makes it affordable for you to do it, this is the time to do it.
Why not wait for a breakout above 20 though? Still like in this range, like as Strazza says, you're jumping the breakout.
I think you could be a little bit more aggressive, maybe like 19.25, 19.25, I think. But yeah, you want to see the breakout. The breakout hasn't happened yet. You're absolutely right. The only problem is if you wait for the breakout, this thing could have a huge gap, right? I mean, this is one of those names that can gap 10 points and then you're chasing it. And, on a day like today with the market down, I mean, yeah, hold your fire. Wait to see how this thing trades today. I mean, it's down today, but all things considered, not bad, right? I guess it depends on what kind of trader you are. Do you want to jump the entry? You want to get in at a good price? And are you willing to wait? I mean, look, if you're buying 6 to 12 months expiration options, you got time to wait, right? You could get in now and just chill for a little bit. I like it. I'm not in it myself right now, but I'm watching it.
I'm not either. I'm not either. But like, if I'm looking for a YOLO, this doesn't look like the worst YOLO.
Nope. I like it. I like it for a YOLO.
What else is on your mind these days, Mr. Shawnee?
Well, I came in this morning looking at what happened with the futures and feeling the pain right now. I have a high beta portfolio of positions on right now. I looked at my, let me look at my chart right now. I mean, I've got a whole bunch of positions on and very few of them are green today. Very few of them. And these are all long positions. So there's going to be days like this. And trying to ride big trends is not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. And you're going to have days like you are having today. I'm sure Strazza is feeling it with me. Yeah.
The NASDAQ is down 10 basis points.
Is it really? Is that it? All it is? Well, this is kind of like what we were feeling a couple of weeks ago when
Bitcoin's down 5 large though.
Yeah. This is what we were feeling back
Bitcoin working on a potential outside day for those who partake.
Well, in late July and early August, really late July, we were seeing the Qs and the SPY making new all-time highs every single day. But those last few days of July, even though we were making new highs, my portfolio was getting smoked. Right. And I think we're starting to see that again today. And I don't know necessarily what to make of that other than its rotation. But yeah, it's just a constant, or just another reminder that, trying to ride big trends and trying to hold high beta positions, it's not easy. It's not easy.
Sorry, I'm distracted because I'm seeing what Sean's seeing. So
What
that's why
about volatility in general, Shawnee? We've had the biggest collapse in volatility, fastest ever. VIX now under 15 from 60 4 months ago.
Yeah, I don't know where that stacks. You're saying that is the highest or biggest collapse in
Fastest
history?
collapse ever.
Okay. I mean, take that with a grain of salt, right? We also had a huge spike, for 3 days right before that. So these things happen fast. I don't make much of that. I do like to caution people. We talk all the time that volatility is mean reverting, and it's absolutely mean reverting from spikes. But the converse is not exactly true, right? Just because we're making a new low in VIX doesn't mean that the next spike is immediately around the corner. We could stay low for a long time. I mean, we saw that in, 2017, 2018, where volatility just stayed, in the low teens forever, which not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it was a great thing for investors, for active traders who want a little movement. Maybe that was frustrating, but we could stay here for a long time, which probably is exploding some heads, right? We're like, people who are watching the news and reading the headlines and following all the stuff that comes out of Washington. You're probably thinking, man, this is the craziest time ever. Things are so volatile. But we talk about all the time, right? Only price pays. We follow price, and we follow asset prices. And what we're seeing in the stock market is telling a different story. So we could stay here for a long time, JC, and this low volatility, which I'm okay with. Volatility can be sexy sometimes when you get big moves in stocks, and if you're on the right side of them, great. But it's a lot harder than it looks. And I caution the people who are looking at VIX now, and because I see people talking about it on the old social medias, and I hear talk shows and things like that. People saying that with volatility low, this is where surprises come from, and yes. That has happened and it can happen, but that's not the bet I'm willing to make.
Really interesting this morning is Bitcoin down 5 large, Galaxy up 2%, up off the open. I mean, granted, that was 20 minutes ago. That's an interesting divergence right off the bat this morning. Bitcoin down 5 grand, Galaxy up 2%.
I got into that Galaxy trade with you about 3 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago? And man, I'm loving this consolidation thing, hanging tight here in the high 20s. Another one of those very constructive patterns, just like the QBTS we were talking about. I love this setup in Galaxy, and I love the way it's holding right now, and in spite of what's going on. And next stop, the moon, baby. Let's go.
I see what you did there. Shawnee, one of the things, that you've taught me a lot over many years sitting next to you, looking at options. Like, I sound like an options expert sometimes, and I'm like, if you only knew that I just learned all this shit from Sean. One thing Galaxy, what reminded me, Galaxy, we already sold a double on the calls there. Where'd you get that? Because that's something I got from you, selling a double on when you own calls and the premium, and then you let the rest run. Where'd you learn that? Is that a tasty thing?
No, you know what? You're gonna like this, JC. I got that idea first percolated in my head in a little small Colorado mountain town named Breckenridge. You were there with me. We had a chart summit with our friend Brian
2019?
Shannon. We had our friend Brian Shannon with us, and I was on stage hosting a little fireside chat with our mutual friend John Najarian.
Yeah.
And John Najarian put that idea in my head about selling half when and I was like, yeah, dude, that makes a lot of sense. And I've kind of incorporated that into my thing. And I mean, I think I maybe had done that a little bit, but from time to time without really realizing why I was doing it. But John Najarian really put that idea in my head, and it's stuck ever since.
I never would have. I thought it was a tasty thing because you learned a lot of your tricks came from Tasty Trade, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Tasty Trade folks are great people.
Like never sell naked calls. I got that from you. That's definitely a tasty thing, right?
No, that's not a tasty thing. They're a little bit more cavalier about selling naked calls, but they do it in a different way, right? They're doing it statistically.
Got it.
But no, I mean, look, we all learn things from people all over the place. And that's, you know, and that speaks to why we do the things that we do, JC, why we host events and why we speak at events. And because you never know what you're going to learn and you never know where you're going to learn it. And sometimes the things that you learn, it's like a passing comment that someone just throws off. It's not like the main point of their presentation. It's just like something they just threw off matter of factly, or maybe they talked about it at the bar after when we're just hanging out. But that's why we do the things we do, because you never know.
Remember you, me, and
something.
Todd Gordon down in the village, just like in the middle of the night, yelling at each other about option strategies?
In New York, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, sure. You know, that's how this stuff happens. I mean, look, everyone wants to think that you know, there's a book, there's a magic book that you need to read, or
They have those. They all suck.
Yeah, yeah. Or there's some course you need to take, or there's some degree you need to get at college, and then if you do that, then you're going to be a great trader. That's not how it works, right? And that's not how learning in anything works. I mean, far beyond trading, right? Like, we learn by experiencing, by engaging with others, by being open to new ideas. And you never know when inspiration and new ideas are going to hit you. But when they do, it's amazing. And you gotta be open to it.
Dude, I was talking with Olivia Vaz. She is crushing it. Holy cow, is she doing well. Spencer, by the way, if you guys didn't catch the video of myself and Miss Vaz earlier this week, she really breaks down her strategy. And one thing she said that I have never in my life ever heard, and you know how many traders and investors I've spoken to over many years, she uses a 5-minute candle for confirmation. Those words I've never seen in the same sentence.
Well, I mean, she's an intraday trader, right? She's flat at the end of the day, so of course she uses 5-minute candles. That doesn't surprise me.
But 5? Like 1, 2, 10, like, you know, like I've seen all those. Never heard 5. I mean, I get it. Trust me, I get it. Obviously,
I'll bet our boy Kenny does too. He just doesn't talk about it. Intraday
candles?
traders are using 5-minute candles for sure.
All right. Maybe I need to get out more. What else, Sean? We got a couple minutes, and then we'll do a little recess. Give me one more.
Look, I like the way, you know, since we were talking memes and in crypto space, you gotta love the way the Ethereum ETF is holding in here. The ETHA. I mean, this breakout we've had over the last 5 days is pretty awesome. And
what's the difference between ETHA and ETHE?
Different providers, man.
Got it. Okay.
Different providers. And does ETHE have options? Let me see. I don't even know.
Because I'm in the ETHE, and it does have options.
Okay, I see it now. ETHA has a lot more open interest and in volume. So that I don't know. That's what I like about it.
I'll trade that one. Yeah, I'm in the ETHE.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. The ETHE. Oh, is that an ETF now? That might actually be. It wasn't before, but now.
Strazza says ETHA is the iShares, which is the top dog. All right, that's probably right. That's probably on me. I'm probably in the wrong one.
That's correct. ETHE is great.
Hey, made a lot of money on the wrong one. So one for the good guys there, right, Shawnee?
Gotta love how that works. But yeah, I mean, I'm really loving the way Ethereum's holding in here. A trade that and an idea that Strazza and I kicked around a few weeks ago that is so far working out really nicely is he and I got into some really long-term calls in the Uranium Energy Corp, UEC, and you know, it's really just a play on the energy needs of quantum computing and everything crypto, and you know, I'm probably the worst person to ask when it comes to long-term investing. I'm a terrible long-term investor, right? But I am at least not an idiot enough to know that, like, hey, there are things that are happening that, like, there are trends that are behind the scenes that are important here. And the energy needs of all this new technology that's changing our lives. I mean, the energy needs are just going to continue to skyrocket. So there's going to be investable opportunities in anything that supports energy, whether it's nuclear energy or coal, or I don't know, anything that provides energy. Anything, man, we're going to need it. And so I'm very receptive to ideas to get involved in anything that's supporting these spaces. And so UEC is just one of them. I'm cherry picking, of course, because it's done really well.
I know it very well. This is one of the worst trades of my entire life. 15 years ago, I was huge in this stock, irresponsibly long, and then a tsunami hit Fukushima. And let's just say it's taken this long for it to come back.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm here for it.
That's
Let's
when I
go.
learned risk management. It's just a tsunami. It'll come back. It's just an earthquake in the middle of the Pacific. What could go wrong?
Yeah, they happen all the time. Big deal.
Stupid JC. I was very diversified. I had the UEC, I had the CCJ, I had the URA. I was very diversified.
So diversified.
Hey
Yes.
man, look, we've all
You live and you learn, Shawnee.
We've all been there, man.
Still
We've all
pains
been
me.
there.
You bring up the ticker symbol and I start going into convulsions.
We've all been there, man. I mean, there was a period of my trading career. I don't remember the year. I want to say it was maybe 2012 when I was trading the VXX. You guys know what the VXX is?
Oh,
Yeah,
all too well.
It's still around. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, it was back when the first inklings of, or I think it was the first time the U.S. Credit rating had been downgraded. It was like 2012 or 2013, and VXX just ripped higher, and I was like, well, you got to fade this, right? You gotta sell this. You got to sell these calls, or you got to get short the stock. I mean, it's gonna come back. Mean reversion of volatility and all that, and so I started selling call spreads in VXX, and the thing didn't go down. So I'd sell more, and then I'd sell more. And this went on for months. I took probably the biggest loss of my career. It wasn't all in one trade, but just like continuing to bet against this thing. And it just stayed high for its markets stayed rational longer than I could stay solvent. And I got my ass kicked. And yeah, that was the painful lesson, man. You can't fight the tape. Can't fight the tape. So we've all been there, JC. You've been in this game long enough. You have your water.
But you have to go through it to finally understand, though.
Yep.
Like my uranium tsunami situation, like it literally took a tsunami for me to finally get it. We all get our inspiration somewhere.
Yep. And hey, of course, I was ultimately proven right. The VXX ultimately did go back down to the levels it should be, but long after it took all my money.
That's right, as usual. All right. All right. Let's do a little recess and then we'll hop.
Yeah, do you want to mention if you guys want more of Sean in your life, get his daily note. The link is in the description. I'm also going to drop it in the chat right now. There it is.
If you want more Shawnee in your life, come on. Come and get it.
Come on.
There's, I'll do it again. There, it's in there twice now.
Hey, I'm glad you brought up that note. Oh, actually, we'll save it for recess. Save it for recess.
Okay, we'll save it. Yeah, you went like sort of viral a few days ago, right?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So my note. I wrote a note on Monday talking about something that happened to me over the weekend, and talked about how, among other things, we need to get inspiration from other things. And I spent my weekend with artists this weekend, and it was an amazing weekend. And I wrote about this particular musician. His name is Steve Poltz. I had never heard of the guy, didn't know him, but I wrote about him in my note on Monday. And I've been getting a lot of feedback from people who know who this guy is and have experienced him in one way or another, or some people who, they're thanking me for me turning them on to this guy because they hadn't heard of him like me. And man, I was at this music festival. This music festival filled with rock bands, right? There were like, lots of bands, and it was all this fun. But this guy comes out at a 5 o'clock slot on Saturday, which is a pretty hot slot for the rock bands, right? That's the one a lot of them want. Mm-hmm. And this guy comes out. He's like this 65-year-old dude, steps on stage by himself with nothing but an acoustic guitar and a microphone. And I'm like, my first thought is, oh, this is going to suck. This is going to be a waste of my time. We'll give him like one song and then we'll go grab dinner, because it was dinner time, right? And but man, the minute he started playing his guitar, started singing, within 1 or 2 minutes, he had the entire crowd captivated. This guy knows how to capture a room, or in this case, an outdoor space. He was just an amazing musician, and he was funny, and he was articulate, and he was, he had knowledge of history. He had so much wisdom and compassion, and he was talking about, civil rights things and just all kinds of stuff, man. And it was so amazing. And he finished the show, and he talked about this while he's on stage, and he's been performing for years, and he's performed with people like Jewel, and he writes music with Jewel and all these other people. And he's like, I've never had a set list in my life. He's like, he goes on stage, he never knows what he's going to play. He just plays whatever he feels. And at the end of the show, he did one of these things where he surprised his deckhand and like all the people that work on the stage, and like nobody was prepared for this, but he went out in the wings of the stage, grabbed a wireless mic and just said, "Hey, I'm going to go out into the field there. I see a spot. I see an open spot kind of in the middle. I'm going to go there. Come meet me there." And he just goes out into the crowd. He asks everybody to form a circle around him. There's 6,000 people at this festival in this area. He has everybody form this tight circle around him. And then he leads the crowd in singing a famous tune called "Ripple" by the Grateful Dead. And I don't know if you know the song. It's
That's
a
why
beautiful
Kenny's
song.
long, by the way, just so you know.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song, and he led the crowd in singing. So he would like tell us the next line, and then we would all sing it. And it, it was like for 10 minutes we sang this song. It was the most beautiful moment I've ever been a part of at a music festival. And people were crying. I cried. Look, I'm going to admit it. I cried. It was so beautiful. And I had the very lucky opportunity to talk to the guy the next day. I'm a volunteer at this festival, so I have a little bit of all access. I'm kind of a big deal, right? So I could walk around in the green rooms and hang out with the artists. And I was in the green room the next day, and he walked in and he's hanging out. And it was just me and him and like two other guys. And we had like a 45-minute conversation. And just a delightful human and so inspiring. And, and I asked him about that thing at the end of the day yesterday. And he's like, "Yeah, I had no plan to do that. I didn't even know I was going to play that song. It just, I felt it." And it turned out, guys, that, if you care about this kind of stuff, that he didn't even know this, but it turned out that day that he did that, singing that song "Ripple," which is, arguably one of Jerry Garcia's greatest songs he'd ever written with the Grateful Dead. That happened to be the 30th anniversary of the day Jerry Garcia died.
Wow.
He had no idea.
Wow.
So I don't know, man. I just witnessed some magic this weekend. It was beautiful. And
great story.
Hanging out with artists and just being really inspired. And it reminded me that what we do here is trading. We try to be robotic about stuff. We try to be mechanical, and we try to follow our plans. And that's all very, very important. But man, artists see the world a different way, and they go with their feelings and they go with their gut. And seeing that this weekend, not just with this guy Steve Pulse, but with many of the artists, it was just a good reminder that we got to tune into ourselves and tune into our intuitions and feel things, and that will help in trading, that'll help in investing, that'll help in a lot of other things too.
Yeah, great story, Sean. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Well, I'll save mine for tomorrow. We'll leave it at that. That was great,
Yeah.
Sonny.
Yeah. Let's get out of here. Thank you for watching. Let's end on a nice, inspiring high note. Get Sean's note. The link is in the chat and description. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Have a good one. Go make some money.
Adios. YOLO responsibly.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it